My next patron question is from Benjamin, who wanted to know what happened to the Wonder Park TV series. So I'm really happy he asked me this, because it's something that fascinated me for a few years now. Basically, before Paramount released the animated movie Wonder Park, they were hyping it up as a possible franchise. Viacom CEO Bob Bakish announced at CinemaCon 2 years before the film's release that they were already working on a television show to air on Nickelodeon. This is not the first time Nickelodeon and Paramount have used this strategy, and it's worked well for them in the past. Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius and Barnyard both did this and proved very successful in theaters and on the channel. When Wonder Park opened in March 2019, it was a financial failure for Paramount, not helped by the sizable budget. However, that does not mean the show could not later find an audience on Nickelodeon. When the physical media release arrived 3 months later, a short promo for the upcoming television show was included on the disc, although Nickelodeon curiously never uploaded online. However, no announcement arrived saying when the show would premiere, and it is now reaching 4 years since Wonder Park came and went from theaters, and there's been no indication of when the show will reach television screens. They have not even sold it to a streamer like Netflix or Amazon, nor do they burn off all the episodes in a 4 a.m. time slot while the target audience is asleep, or quietly dump it on Paramount Plus with no fanfare. The episodes are just sitting in the vaults while the children who did see the movie in theaters are growing up. What happened to it? I find it so fascinating. Were they that embarrassed by the film's box office performance that they would rather pretend it doesn't exist? The movie has aired on Nickelodeon a couple times, but that does not appear to have drummed up enough interest to get the show on the air. Are they pulling a page from David Zaslav at Warner Brothers Discovery and just writing it off for tax purposes? Maybe the show did not test well. Television archives are littered with pilots for shows that never aired because the executives decided not to order full series or tested poorly with focus groups. But here's the thing. Those were pilots, the whole point of which is to test out whether there's potential in a full series. Nickelodeon has reportedly made 20 episodes of the Wonder Park television series. It's very unusual. The closest other example I can recall of this situation happening is with the Garbage Pail Kids animated show. CBS ordered a series based on the trading cards and 13 episodes were produced. Parents' groups complained and advertisers pulled out, which led to CBS deciding not to broadcast the show. However, Garbage Pail Kids did air in several other countries, and the show even got an official DVD release in 2006. Wonder Park has not been as lucky. It should be noted, Wonder Park is not the only box office flop to already have an animated series in production before the film hit theaters. The difference is those shows still got released in some way. Osmosis Jones was a massive flop for Warner Brothers, making only $14 million on a $70 million budget. However, a television series named Ozzy and Drix still aired on the WB a year later and ran for 26 episodes. It even later ran on Cartoon Network for a few years. Remember the Ivan Reitman comedy, Evolution? Most people don't. That was also a box office disappointment during the summer of 2001. An animated show titled Alienators, Evolution Continues, was already ordered before the film was released and began airing on Fox Kids only a few months later with 26 episodes. An interesting case comes from a planned Atlantis The Lost Empire series being produced by Disney Television Animation. Originally titled Team Atlantis, it would have continued to show Milo living his life and getting into adventures in Atlantis. However, the movie's financial failure led to the idea being scrapped. Instead, 3 of the episodes of this planned series were combined to make a direct-to-video sequel titled Atlantis Milo's Return. Back to Wonder Park, as its relevance grows shorter and the audience forgets about it, Nickelodeon is missing the window when it could be aired and generate decent enough ratings. Or maybe in about 5 years it'll become meme fodder from the generation who remembers seeing it in theaters or on DVD, and Nick decides to cash in on it and finally air those 20 episodes. I do want to say I feel bad for the directors and writers who worked hard on the series expecting it to air on Nickelodeon sometime in 2020, are now just waiting and waiting and waiting for it to air and to proudly point at the episodes they made. It must be frustrating to have that sort of thing happen to a creative project you spent a long time on, and it does appear to be happening with more regularity lately. Anyway, when do you think the Wonder Park television series will finally air? Let me know in the comments, and thank you for your question, Benjamin.